Hello, my name is Bernard Purrier, and my subject is marine life, and in particular cetaceans, which are whales, dolphins and porpoises, and also ocean conservation. And there I look at the problems that face the oceans these days. One of the main ones is the problem of overfishing, which could be a real significant problem in the future. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment. I've been a speaker since 2011, and I've worked for Cunard, P&O Cruises, Holland America, Viking, Saga and Fred Olsen. My career was in medical microbiology in the NHS in the UK and then the pharmaceutical industry. And I retired early at 55 and worked with whale and dolphin conservation in order to progress my interest in marine life. I have one or two slides to show you and to talk through to show you the sort of thing that I do. This would be my first title talk. Look into the world of whales and dolphins, and I talk about a lot of different facts here. Some people will know, some people won't. And some are quite amusing. And it's one of those amusing ones that I want to tell you about now. The pufferfish is fairly insignificant when it's in normal state, but it puffs up to look much more aggressive when it's threatened. It has a secret weapon, and that is that it has a neurotoxin which it can release, which can paralyze or even kill a predator. Now, the dolphins, usually young male ones, have realized that if the pufferfish is taken in the beak and just gently squeezed, a little bit of the neurotoxin will be released and taken into the dolphin, and it's just enough to give them a high. So the whole group will each have a little squeeze of the pufferfish, and the last one will release it. It will deflate and swim off quite happily. In the meantime, the dolphins are all at the surface in a very relaxed and happy state. My next talk usually is to look at the marine life that could be seen on a particular voyage, in order that people who do spot anything are more likely to be able to identify it after this talk than before. And one of the first things that I talk about are the flying fish, which are seen on probably about 90% of voyages, certainly that I've been on. They fly out from either side of the bow of a ship to get away from it, and they really are an amazing sight, much like the picture at the bottom of this slide here. So people will spend time on deck looking out for these and usually seeing them. The humpback whale's significant feature is the length of its flipper, which can be up to 15 feet long and is a very good marker of what one is actually seeing. This particular animal is really easily identified because of this. The orca, the killer whale, has a very distinctive coloration, black and white. It also has a dorsal fin, which is straight up at the back and which can be up to 6 feet long in the male, and is usually the first thing that's seen as the animal approaches within sight. Interestingly, although it's called the killer whale, it is in fact the largest of the dolphins. And this is the minke whale, and you can see the white markings on the fins here, and that's again a significant feature of identifying this particular animal. And for most of the species, there is a significant identifying feature. And I tend to go through the ones which are most likely, statistically, to be the ones spotted on a particular voyage in a particular area. Now this talk, Empty Oceans, Empty Nets, deals with the problems of overfishing. And the marine scientists tell us that there could be oceans completely devoid of fish of any type within 50 years unless we change our habits. So one of the features, of course, is the size of the nets that are being used these days. And if you look at this slide and the trawling lines, which are towed by two different ships, can be up to 6 miles apart, which is just absolutely incredible in terms of the size of this net. The picture also shows the volume of the net could hold up to 13 jumbo jets, which is phenomenal and just goes to prove the point really that fishing is getting completely out of hand. Any wildlife that's present will be trapped by this net, and it includes lots of species which the fishermen themselves don't want, and therefore at the end of the day when they empty the nets, these are all thrown back into the sea. In fact, almost 10% of the total catch worldwide goes back into the seas, but of course by then they're all dead. A snippet of the sort of thing that I talk about. My audiences are usually very good in number, and get a lot of feedback to say how people feel it's helped their appreciation of various problems. I hope that it's been of interest to you, and I'd very much like to come and speak on one or more of your ships in the near future. Thank you very much indeed.